Oh guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and there's a massive update that got pushed today. They didn't actually say much in it, but they used a couple of pictures that mean 1,000 words. Now, if you haven't seen the update already, you should be stoked because there's a lot of stuff I'm about to talk about. Everything from the Bob's Tall Ark Tales to the anime that's actually coming out later this month on the 31st, to Scorched Earth actually being released on time, which again, shocker, 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 shocker. Normally I've got a lot of negative things to say. However, recently I will fully admit that Ark is kind of taking a little bit of a turn, a little bit small for those of you that are like, teacher, just, you know, blah, 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 blah. To be completely fair, Ark has made a lot of mistakes, but I think this isn't going to be one of them. Now, if you haven't seen this image, this is kind of the focus of the actual release that they just did inside of their Community Crunch 401, which just got released. Now, I'm going to kind of cruise over a few quick things. I'm going to come back to everything that I think that's going to be massive changes in this game. But you can kind of see it right here. This basically talks about this whole section, gather around the campfire survivors. And you basically, the first Bob they encountered, now the legendary Ark veteran Bob, voiced by Carl Urban, is ready to share his incredibly true adventures with you for the first time. So you obviously can see this recovering some animated explorer notes is going to allow you to get some of this information from him. But you can see the explorer's notes on March 31st. And I'm pretty sure that's also what's going to release with the actual anime itself. But we'll keep our fingers crossed. If you search on actual Paramount Plus, it is on, like, the Ark episodes are on Paramount Plus. They're just not open yet, so that's all there, good to go. So that's kind of cool. Live ops update. If you haven't clicked on this yet, essentially what it's going to do is it's going to bring you to a update basically telling us that all of this stuff that they have released, you can see it all right here. Basically, they made a bunch of character-based changes, and this is a really good thing on their part. For people that are freaking out about it, I don't know why. They're essentially releasing minor updates prior to the major Scorched Earth update that's about to come out. And this is going to allow us to essentially have all of the bugs, or at least a lot of the bugs, fixed before they actually release the major ones. So we're not dealing with a ton of bugs, just a few, which is a huge, huge thing. They should always be doing this. I don't know why they haven't done this in the past, but that, to me, that means progress, which is super cool. And that's literally the end of the stuff. However, once you notice some stuff in that, I'll talk about it. Obviously, you can see they got the mod spotlight going on here. Some really cool mods that exist. And then the modding contest. If you haven't gone and voted for your favorite modders, you can click on this Vote Now button on the website just by going to Survive the Ark. And yeah, it's pretty cool. They get to share some of the $50,000 prize pool. So definitely send some stuff out for those people that have some awesome stuff. Now, obviously, the Apocalypse, that one's pretty cool. Great all, right, whatever. The bonus rates, great, whatever. The community corner, the cool stuff there, some awesome stuff. I love, this is my favorite part when I read through this, but let's get back up to the top before I get to like that, which is my favorite part of these community crunches. This right here, this is huge. So there's a lot to unpack. I don't know why people are kind of like brushing this to the side, right? Yes, there is a form of, I don't know how much it's going to be, but there's some sort of paying for skins system where you can have this really neat sheriff skin with the 6-shooter revolver, some sort of like steampunk style skin. And then you can also see this, like, I would call it Mad Max-esque stuff that's going on here to the right. Now, there's two ways to look at this, right? The first way is they're going to release all of this stuff included, into Scorched Earth, which means they're going to release Velonosaurs, vehicles, trains, these Oasis-saurs, all of this stuff, including this guy over here, into Scorched Earth. I don't think that's actually what's going to happen. To me, what this means is that the aberration map, like you see over here, or whatever this map is supposed to represent, is going to have some sort of steampunk theme to it when they release it this year. The map over here with Extinction, this one's going to be a Mad Max style theme with the wastelands, which is why you have like the Velonosaur with the actual car right over there, right? I'm going to zoom in on that so you can see that right there. That's obviously supposed to look like Mad Max. I don't know what else you're supposed to think. I mean, the old version of it. And then obviously you can see that's kind of like their play. So they're going to be, while we wait, and it seems like these three will be the last maps before they move into Ark 2 and then release the rest of the content. But yeah, there's some big stuff. You just gotta kind of take a second to download all of it, right? One, let's zoom in over here. So you can see right now that we've got the train. Trains are officially coming to Ark. Yes, this is obviously not in-game footage. This is drawn footage. But it brings a lot of cool things home, right? Because these things have vaults on the back of them, which means that you're probably going to be able to transport your goods. So if you find a good metal or a node location for something, sending it home on a train, huge lifesaver for those of us that have played Ark. Obviously, you know, this is going to be awesome. Plus, having some sort of like satisfactory-esque build is going to be super freaking cool. So trains are actually officially getting put into it. That's really neat. Obviously, you can see the Oasisaur on the back side of it. And then if you look closely, I can't quite tell. I've zoomed in a few times and it gets really pixelated. If that's a new dino or not, I'm not totally sure, but it certainly doesn't look like any of the dinos that exist so far in the game. It almost looks like a Megalosaur, but I'm not totally sure. Yeah, I wish I could have a little bit more confirmation on that, but I definitely don't. So I wish I could get you a little bit more information, but I don't. Anyways, that being said, here's my, so like that's option one. You've got the three different things, right? These are the three maps that release with their three different styles: steampunk, western, and then Mad Max. Or I guess whatever you want to call it, dystopian future, it could be the call on this one. The other way to look at it is they're actually introducing all of this kind of concept into Scorched Earth, where Velonosaurs might be making appearances into Scorched Earth with these sort of car-like things. For those of you that didn't play Ark when it first came out, there used to be a tech ATV. I don't remember what the actual name of it was, but it's literally called the Tech ATV, and it was in the code and they'd planned on releasing it, and then they kind of scrapped it because there were a lot of issues going on with it, right? So that's kind of a one way to look at it. So yeah, I don't think if it is, all of this stuff could be in Scorched Earth. I just don't think so, right? I think that having something like this up here with this single man air balloon, I think that's more of an aberration thing, because even though it's really cool and having something like that in Scorched Earth, it doesn't fit the mold, but it would be cool to have it for sure. So I think realistically, and I know that some people are like, well, they said that, duh, but we all know that sometimes the Ark devs say things and they don't necessarily come through. I think that it is super cool that I think they're splitting it, right? You're going to get for sure the new content of trains, Oasisaurs, the new dino, new skins, new creatures, new ideas, new stuff in general, which means they're actually reworking Scorched, which needs a desperate, tender, loving care to it, because it is struggling. But anyways, yeah, that's a massive, like this picture alone, if that doesn't excite you, you should be a little bit excited, because that alone is worth just about anything you can think of, because of the fact that it is just new stuff. The hardest thing that Ark Survival Ascended, which only has 11,000 active players at a time right now, has had to deal with is island has been their only map for 4 months, which is crazy to think about, because the island is, though it is a lot of our favorite maps when we first played, compared to the other maps like Extinction, Scorched Earth, Aberration, it's terrible. It really is just not good. It doesn't really have any content. There's no additional dinosaurs, and outside of the single ascension cave, there's nothing super special about it, and that's why everyone's been kind of like pushed away from that. There are still 30,000 active players at any given moment on Ark Survival Evolved, but Ascended has a third of that. So once they start adding some actual content, people are going to kind of start to leak over from Survival Evolved, because why would you pay the money to have less content? And I think that that's what excites me, right? A lot of really, really cool stuff incoming. And I really am hoping for some really neat and updated things, right? So we'll see how it actually plays out. I'm stoked. I'm going to play the crap out of it. I think those of you that have already bought Survival Ascended, you should definitely give it a go, because who doesn't like playing with trains and creating awesome networks on your servers? Me, I will say, don't play official, because this is going to be a nightmare. Absolute freaking nightmare on official. Nightmare. But it is my personal opinion, so take that for what you want. Now, obviously, the live ops, I talked about that. That's going to be huge. We talked about this, some awesome content that you haven't seen stuff. It looks like Vino's got some content. I've never heard of Boondocks Viking Gaming, but they've got some awesome content there. This person, I don't know who this is, but this is amazing. That render right there is so freaking cool. Man, that's crazy. And then I don't know. Some of these people are just so talented. I wish I could draw like whoever's doing this. Man, jealous. I am jealous. Good for you. Part 3 drawing of every dino dossier. Man, I wish I was that talented, but I'm just not. Like, I don't know. I want to teach dossier. That would be super cool. Personal opinion. But so much of this stuff is so cool. I like that they still add these things because a lot of people get really toxic with how Ark has been going, and they should be, right? Because there have been a lot of negatives that have come out from the decisions that Survival Ascended has made, and Wildcard and Snail Games have made some big mistakes, like partnering only with Nitrado locks a lot of people out of the game. Only releasing one map locks a lot of people out. But I'm very hopeful, right? Because we have stuff incoming, and that's my hope. That's the goal, right? So anyways, tell me what you think in the comments below. I'm hopeful. This is the first time I've said this for a few months with all the negative things that have been going on. I'm also hopeful that they'll actually start working on fixing some of the things that have gone wrong, but we'll actually see. So anyways, hopefully this video is something that you enjoyed. If you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for that algorithm, and then consider subbing to the channel. All right, Teach.